The song was Survivor. I'm Robert Cray, and these are the sounds of the time. I first picked up a guitar, I believe it was about 1965. When I started playing guitar, it was because of the Beatles. I wanted to be a Beatle. When I saw them on Ed Sullivan's show, everybody got excited about the guitar.
But few have made it their own, quite like blues guitarist and singer Robert Cray, who's even had a couple of guitars named after him. Cray, who doesn't define himself as a pure bluesman, says his early musical influences were diverse.
My parents had a great record collection, and they played Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke. There was Ray Charles and Sarah Vaughan and gospel music on Sundays. So I heard a lot of other music before me as a 11 or 12-year-old wanting a guitar at that particular time.
In the 70s, he and some friends started the Robert Cray Band.
For us to have something to call our own, in a sense, was exciting, finding the double entendre in a lot of the blues tunes, getting to see people like Albert Collins, who actually played our high school graduation party in 1971. It just started around that time, and so we got excited about that, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to be blues men.
They released their first album, Who's Been Talking, in 1980.
I remember sitting at the table with Richard Cousins, our bass player, the two of us receiving our first copy of the record and passing it back and forth to one another, saying, "We have a record, man. Check this out." It's pretty cool.
Their next few releases drew the attention of not just music fans, but musicians as well. From the blues scene to the rock scene, there would be lots of collaborations. While living in Oregon in the 70s, Cray got an offer he couldn't refuse.
A lady had come up after a show that we did there, and she asked me if I wanted to be in a movie.
The movie, Animal House, playing Otis Day and the Knights band member.
Yeah, it was great. We had a good time. We did the Toga Party, and we did the Dexter Lake Club scenes. They were there for a couple of months at least. We played in town, and John Belushi came in one night to see a splinter band that we had.
The guys in the band began schooling Belushi on the blues.
To make a long story short, that started the whole Blues Brothers thing. That's how that started.
The 5-time Grammy winner and Blues Hall of Fame inductee, best known for blending blues, rock, soul, pop, and R&B, has recently begun writing songs that reflect the real world.
There's a lot of different ways inspiration comes for songs that I put together. Some are, situations that I see. Some are, made up things. Some are things that actually have happened. And some things come from what goes on in the current world. We've written about the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. I felt like I had to speak out on behalf of the soldiers, the troops going over. And so I did. And another song called Survivor.
Trouble all around me, everywhere.
I think the mainstream is, for the most part, people not agreeing with what actually went on with Iraq, and missing the whole, dropping the ball on what was actually, where it all had come from. To be honest, I really don't understand why this conversation continues in Iraq when it's a mess now. Because of what's happened. Trying to rebuild a country and change the political scene in a place where we shouldn't have been in there in the first place. Just totally disrupted it.
As a music legend for more than 4 decades, Cray's been an integral part of the evolution of the blues.
When we started doing our brand of blues, that there was so much mixing of the different genres, like incorporating a lot of soul and stuff like that. And now I see more and more bands incorporating, the kinds of things that we added to what we do, and still calling it blues. whether it be about love or lifestyle, not having a job or something like that, or about the world in which a person lives in, and people wanting it to be better.